I'm Emma Curtin, host of a new true crime podcast called Murder Archives. It's set in Toorak in 1929 about the murder of Norma Reese McLeod. Search for Murder Archives where you're listening right now.
This will come out probably after Christmas, but it's end of year while we're recording this, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Had my daughter's grade 6 graduation dinner.
Do they do that?
Well, every 12-year-old deserves to look like a stripper for one night. It's some of the things the girls are wearing. I mean, my daughter's not, because my wife's Amish or whatever. My daughter wears some, and her friends were very modest. They're 12, you know what I mean?
And they're wearing makeup and stuff.
Oh, some of the girls were in heels and makeup and short dress. It was like, oh my God. And I had a job. It's hilarious because she's like, did you have a graduation dinner? And no. The end of primary school? No, nothing. But these days it's a big deal. They have a dinner and they've got to get up and speak about one of the other students. They're given a student to speak about. And
so there's a lot of speeches.
Oh, we're not. The adults aren't there for that. The parents aren't there for that. We come later, and when the kids have got up and as a group say something about their teacher, which was really nice. You know, they do a poem or they do a rap or whatever about their teacher, and the teachers cry and give them a book. But then it was my job. I was given the job of DJing afterwards. Because, they clear the chairs away and the parents all stand around and the kids can dance if they want to. But to tell you what, the difference between what music girls like, what music boys like is massive these days. So,
oh, really?
Well, the big dance floor favourite was Baby Shark. Have you heard Baby Shark?
Well, we can't play it on the show.
Sharky, I'll sing it for you. It's a novelty song from Korea. So you remember Gangnam Style?
Yep.
It's like that, but a kid's sort of K-pop. So it's like
big at your house?
No, we don't play it at our house because it's too annoying. It's Baby Sharky, 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 Baby Shark, and there's dance moves to it and stuff. And then, the other one that they all loved, which is, I find this incredibly sad, We Will Rock You. Because of that Queen. They sing it a lot at school because, it has that dun dun ch dun 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 dun. And because of that Queen movie that's out at the moment. But I was never a big Queen fan as a kid, so... Ugh.
I had to judge a competition at a secondary school where they did a concert at the end of the year, and I was, we're like Australia's Got Talent type of thing.
Yeah,
three judges, and one of the kids came out and he'd had a stroke, so he couldn't walk properly and he didn't have much movement on one side.
Yeah,
and he sang "I'll Be There for You."
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, I was gone. I teared up.
Yeah, well, that's...
And it was so good. And then he went on to win, and then I stepped forward, and then I gestured to the guy who was ticking. I said, put the song on again. And it was like the credits of a movie. Everyone started singing. Everyone on stage started singing. And I just turned away because I started...
You were crying?
I
got something in my eye.
Yeah. What am I doing?
I'll be there for you.
It was really touching.
Yeah.
And whenever those things, when they sing a national anthem or they sing the school song, you're going,
yeah,
it's getting to me. I'm God.
Well, they always sing one song at the end of year, and this song, the song that they chose, which I think the boys chose, was "Hey Now" by Smash Mouth.
Oh yeah.
Hey now, you're a rock star. Let the game on. Which is a bit of energy, but it's an annoying song.
When I see when I watch the football and they go into the rooms and they all sing the team song.
Oh, I love it when they do that.
And it's all very stilted.
Yes.
We are
Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong. They take the melody out of it. Come on, guys. Because they're great. Some of those football, because they're old sea shanties and stuff.
Yeah.
They're great songs. Like the Carlton one's great. The Collingwood one. I love when they've had a new team. Like have you heard the Port Power song?
It's not very
We've got the power to move. We've got the power to say, come on.
It's a Broadway musical.
And I always look up who wrote it, and it's always the guy that played bass in. It was the guy who played bass in Cold Chisel. I think wrote that one. But there's one in the Western Australia ones. No, that's the Power to Move. I think is that Port Power? No, that's Port Power. I think. Yeah.
Could we hear a little bit of it, Sam?
Oh, the Sydney one, the Sydney Giants one, is written by the guy from Cat Empire. That is a great song.
Harry James Angus.
Thanks, Sam. Harry James Angus. Yeah, that is a great one.
Which one's that?
The Giants.
Can we hear 10 seconds of it?
All right, here we go. It's good, isn't it?
It's good.
It's got like a Russian kind of
Is it as
vibe.
good as our theme? because our theme.
Oh, here it comes!
Our theme was offended that we were dating somebody
Here it
else.
comes! Woo!
Hello and welcome to Somehow Related, and now please welcome your hosts Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
Well, welcome to the podcast. My name is Dave O'Neill.
My name is Glenn Robbins, and this is Somehow Related.
And how does it work?
Well, two random topics. Well, you would think they were random, but they're not. They are somehow related, just because.
What are the topics, Sam? Let's get them.
World War I and Kleenex tissues.
World War One. I think World War One's my favourite war. What's your favourite war? That's from a movie, called Small Soldiers, and the guy's watching it. He's just watching. He's watching a movie, and he just goes out of nowhere. I think World War II's my favourite war. God, it made me laugh. Sadly, that guy's not around anymore because he got murdered. It's the guy from Saturday Night Live who got murdered by his partner, I think.
Oh, shot him and then
Yeah. Terrible. I think the kid survived. Who was that, Sam? It wasn't Hank Azaria. It's someone like Hank Azaria.
He had a great voice. He was.
What was his name? It was in Spin City, I think. What was his name?
Phil Hartman.
Yes,
Phil Hartman. He was very funny. Anyway, he was in this movie, and he said,
That's what he said.
Well, this is my favourite war.
If you want to explain expositional dialogue to someone who doesn't know what exposition, do you know what? Of course, you know what expositional dialogue is.
That's like when someone in a movie goes, I tell you what, they provide the background just by talking.
Yeah, they say something like, "Is John home today?" "No, John's away. He's at the war." And the other person says, "Which war?"
Yeah, World War II.
World War II.
When did it? Yeah, they give all the details in the talking.
Because there's a lot of wars going on at the moment.
Well, yeah, but the big ones, World War One, World War Two, but World War One.
What were the years?
1914 and 18.
Yeah, and second, 39-45.
Yeah. Oh, well done.
Oh, God.
World War One was the assassination of the Archduke Ferdinand by a Serbian dissident who shot him, and that flared up World War One. But this is a HSC topic. That's how I know so much. There were several reasons for World War One.
I probably learned it too, but you just remember it.
There was an economic build-up, the weapons build-up. There was a lot of tension going on. Anyway.
Wouldn't have had many toys to kill each other with, would they? It would have been just... What would they had?
No, they had a weapon build-up, though. The Germans had a weapon. They were building up their weapons. The Kaiser, who was in charge.
And what was the outcome of the First World War?
Germany was depleted, basically, and France got some of its territory and stuff like that.
So Germany's gone.
Made Germany very angry, I think, at the end of the war. That's why Hitler was in the First World War as a soldier. He won a medal.
So he thought, didn't work the first time, give it another crack. I'll get it right this time.
Yeah, he was very angry for the war. And, anyway, but it was that was when more Australians were killed in the First World War than the Second World War.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty full on. And it was all in Europe, wasn't it? It was all in France. There was hardly any fighting in Germany in World War One. It was all in France.
Would have been
Turkey.
A lot of foot soldiers doing the hand to hand, would it?
These kids that live near me are history nuts, and they're like year 11, and they just went on a holiday to France. They went to all the Somme and where all the battlefields were, and you dress up and stuff and go and
yeah, I've heard that. They do that with the Civil War in the US, where they reenact.
Yeah,
the Yankees and the Confederates, and they go at it in the outfits.
The other thing about World War One was that all the Australians were mainly volunteers. There was no conscription; they're all volunteers. And they used to have these things that go around in Western Australia. They'd have like a marching band would come into town, and there'd be a guy and soldiers marching, and they say, "Come and join," and all the young farmers would just join them and march off.
Get on board
for an adventure, Glenn. An adventure. Go to Egypt.
It was romantic. Now, what film was that? Oh no, that was in Gallipoli. That's
First World War. Yeah,
okay. But I remember them. Yeah, and they went and then they played cricket down up near the
the pyramids. Yeah. That's where they landed, wasn't it? And then they all moved over to invade Turkey, which was not a great idea.
So
I'm no war expert.
Yeah, it sound like me, huh? Sound like you've got some good stories.
I interviewed a historian on 774, and someone texts in about me. This man knows nothing about World War One.
It's like, of course.
Look, of course I don't know that much. I'm not like Michael Veitch, for example.
He would know about.
He's written books about the wars, and so he knows stuff about the wars. He'd be perfect to talk about this. But tissues. Hang on. Are you a hanky or a tissue man?
I'm a hanky guy.
Yeah, I thought so.
See, that grosses people out.
I know,
because because most people, a lot of people, get a tissue, blow the nose, and then throw it in the bin. Whereas you blow your nose on a hanky, you put it in your pocket. So you're carrying it around with it, which grosses people out.
But it's good for the environment.
I agree.
Yeah.
And there's so many other uses for it for a hanky that you can, wipe down your windscreen, or you could.
When you're picking your grapes, you put it on your head like a hat.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's very good.
Guys, the Italian guy across the road used to do that, like a classic. Put the hanky on the head.
My mum used to tie my money in the corner of it.
Ah, yeah.
God, that's really shame.
But at what age did you have a period where you got rid of the hanky and said,
I think it went away. Yeah, I think it went away.
In your 20s, you wouldn't go into nightclubs and bars and pulling out your hanky.
But I'm a blood nose sufferer.
Oh.
So hanky's handy. And because if you can get it with but tissues, just the blood nose will just get out of my way. You can't stop me.
When we grew up, I don't think tissues were... They were like a luxury, weren't they? Did you have tissues?
So, yeah, you're right. Did you have a box of tissues in the bathroom?
No.
We had a glass jar of cotton balls.
Yes.
But we didn't have tissues.
Maybe cotton buds too. We had them.
Cotton buds, yeah.
We've still got them.
They're about to outlaw those, I think. Like plastic bags.
Because bad for the environment.
Yeah, and going out. For some reason, they're going out into the oceans and dolphins are cleaning their ears. That's better.
Yeah, my kids love tissues. Oh, there's no tissues, Dad. Oh, my God. Whereas we would have just had hankies. They love tissues. And you know what else has been? Wet wipes. Wet wipes are... They're just a new... Because once you have a baby, you need wet wipes, and then they just seem to hang around.
And there's the flushable and the non-flushable. Make sure you have the flushable. I've just had our sewer cleaned out. Ours blocked up last week or last couple of days.
Oh, really? What from? Wet wipes? No, there'd be no wet wipes.
Tree roots.
Oh, my God. I thought you said something else. Tree roots.
No, there's nothing putting them toward down the toilet.
No.
So, tissues... I tell you something that I associate with tissues.
What's that?
When you shave, Norman Gunston style.
Oh, yes. You stick on the... Yes.
Because if you do cut... What do you shave with?
I'm a blade. I'm a blade and cream man.
So how often?
Oh, well, if I'm working every day, if I'm doing a gig, I shave. But I didn't shave today, for example.
Right.
And I'll have to shave tomorrow.
And what do you do if you cut yourself?
I just put a flannel on it and press water in, and then it's just like a blood splatter. But I don't do the paper thing. Does that work?
Well, sometimes if I've cut myself, nothing will stop it, and it does work.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there's nothing worse than, isn't it? Do you shave with a blade or a razor?
Well, at the moment
you got a bit of growth.
What am I? What
growing a beard?
3-day growth. More than a 3-day growth.
More than a 3-day growth.
Well, I've got a little set of clippers that are set to a certain size, and I just
clip.
So it's a conscious growth, whereas you'd like to think that it was like just, hey, I'm so cool that I don't shave.
Pretty groovy, man.
But I'm going for the conscious.
Yeah, it's working.
It's Russell Court.
Willie Nelson.
Yeah, bit Willie Nelson. Yeah. Tissues in the wash in the pocket.
Nightmare.
Because you got to go through again, don't you? Really?
Oh no, I just hang on the line
and then shake it really hard.
White stuff hanging off me. Yeah, my partner would put it through again, but I don't. I just because it'll be my washing. It's a nightmare.
Because the idea of my mother, like if you want to find my mother, you'd follow the trail of tissue, because she just has little balls and drops them everywhere. And
kids do too, though. Snotty noses, and there's just like tissues all throughout the house. Yeah. Because tissues must be a different consistency to toilet paper. They're softer, aren't they, than toilet paper?
Toilet paper? I wouldn't say that.
Because that's what the kids use when they run out of tissues. They use toilet paper. Go and get some toilet paper.
Because with the tissues and the toilet paper get together and have a chat, they'd be going, mate, you've got a better job.
Yeah. And then paper towel turns up and goes, whoa, I'm just dealing with meat and oil and stuff. You guys with your bodily functions.
Yeah. Really, I've known nothing else in my life. That's all I ever known to do. I quite like it. Yeah, well, you can have it. You can keep it.
Yeah, Jermaine does a joke about that.
Was he?
Yeah, about how imagine being a tissue and then being used for toilet paper. It's like, oh my, what's this all about? Yeah, it's a good.
I was just in New Zealand and
they don't have toilet paper.
Well, they don't have toilet paper. They didn't have toilet paper on a roll.
Oh, well, they have it on.
was on a long thing
Oh, a stem thing, like on the ground.
on the ground, and I thought, that's just they've forgotten to put it in my bathroom. Then I went to all the other bathrooms, and they didn't have them there either.
Really?
I mean, it's not like they don't. Surely they know. You just.
But toilet paper is a Western thing. It's not like in Russia they have bidets and stuff and
in Japan I had to go.
You experienced it.
We played it on the show. Would I go back? Yes, I would. Would I try it again? Happy to. Yeah. Would I think it would be efficient? No, I don't.
Lovely.
But,
all right.
Okay.
So
look.
Tissues in World War One. I'm getting a bit of an idea.
I'm getting a bit of an idea. Can we have some? I've got an idea for something.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Tissue music.
It's World War II instead of World War One.
What is it?
The Mitchell and Webb sketch about Are We the Bad Guys?
Oh, that's fantastic. We should play that. But that's sort of World War. That could be World War One too. So you got to imagine it's two guys in like Nazi uniforms.
Yeah.
And then he says, it's a great sketch.
It's a great sketch.
Yeah, let's play that.
Yeah. But do you need to see it to...
Well, just imagine two guys, they've got death skulls and...
Yeah.
They've got swastikas.
They're realising...
that they're the bad guys.
And what's on their...
But we've got skulls on our uniforms. It's like... I watched it the other day. That is a great sketch.
It's a classic sketch.
Oh, here we go. Let's have a bit of that.
Have you noticed that our caps have actually got little pictures of skulls on them?
I don't.
Hans, are we the baddies?
Okay, well, Glenn, what are you thinking?
I'm going to do an extension of the cut myself shaving scenario. I'm going to say they had certain type of paper that they carried with them to use as a temporary bandage while the bleeding was going on. Sure, wouldn't be great, but somehow it was related to soaking up or pressing on the wound and soaking up blood.
I'm going to say that when the Germans surrendered, which they did in World War One. I read this article in the New Yorker magazine.
Jeez,
man,
that's classy. Where was that, in a waiting room?
No, my wife buys them from the op shop. And they're great. New Yorker is a good magazine because it has long form articles.
Yeah.
And so it has, and like, look, you look at it and you go, there's something about theatre. I'm not really interested in that. But they always have like one or two really good long articles. And there was an article about historical things. They had like an article on TV, like an article on the girls in Broad City, for example.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and an in-depth kind of look at them. And which is, they've got one on Jerry Seinfeld, and then they'll have one on Game of Thrones, and then they'll just have one on really interesting historical stuff like this about when the Germans decided to surrender in World War One. They agreed 11 a.m. on the date. I think it's the 11th of November, the 11th of the 11th of the 11th, right? But the some troops, the British just kept fighting until the last minute and killing people. Yeah, there were certain generals that were sending people out, American generals, they were sending people out to be bloody shot at, basically, and the Germans are like, no, they're all yelling out, we're surrendering in a minute. And they're still,
stop.
We're surrendering.
We give up.
Yeah. Anyway, I reckon my theory is that the Germans didn't have any white material, so they used Kleenex to surrender with the white. They waved Kleenex like a white flag. Yeah.
They didn't? Okay. Yep. Waved a bit of paper instead of...
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
All right, Sam. What is it?
At the end of World War I, there was a sore stockpile of gas masks and the tissue filters used in them. These are supplied by the Kimberly-Clark Company, who repurposed them after the war as tissues using the brand name Kleenex.
Repurposing.
You have been listening to Somehow Related with Glenn Robbins and Dave O'Neill.
What happened to the tanks? Because the tank, they just left tanks and stuff.
But then someone's come along and gone, that's such a good repurpose. Mr. Kleenex. Was that his name?
Yeah, it was a paper company, Kimberly-Clark.
But I wonder who Kleenex is. He's that's obviously the product name, not Mr. Kleenex. Sorry.
But Kleenex is probably someone's name. It's probably
Reckon?
like... Yeah.
No.
I reckon Kleenex is someone's name, isn't it? Or is it just like a Hoover?
Yeah.
Get us a Kleenex.
Yeah, give us
It's one of those things.
They would have had a few names on the whiteboard going, what do we go with, what do we go
Sam,
with?
is Kleenex a brand name or is it the name of...
Kleenex is a brand.
Because where I do some of my, have a shop at the end of the street, they have a lot of Chinese products.
Yeah.
And they have a tissue in there that can't hold on to a blow.
Yeah. Yeah, you're getting cheap tissues. That's like cheap toilet paper.
Yeah.
See, Kleenex is part of the Kimberly Clark company. So
it's a quality item.
It's a quality item.
Whereas, no
Those
disrespect
cheap
to the Chinese, but their tissues aren't.
No.
There's, what else can you use tissues for? I mean, I know people often put them into a bit of a. Girls used to put them down their bras.
Oh, they're down their bras, yeah.
Men have known to put them down their
pants.
If they're doing like me when I did my shoot for Mr. Universe, and I wore the G.
Put some down there.
Put them down there, just make them look more impressive. Sam, I can see Sam pulling a face. Oh.
Yes.
But I love the idea of repurposing stuff from the war. That's like when you used to go to a park in the 70s that have an old steam train there.
Yeah.
They must have done it with tanks. When I went to kindergarten in Canberra, and because Dad was in the Air Force.
Hang on, when you lived...
I was in Canberra for a year in 1970.
Right, you're in kindergarten.
Went to kindergarten in Canberra because Dad was in the Air Force.
Right.
We had to go to an Air Force kindergarten. They had a plane as a plaything. Like an actual plane.
Oh, there'd be bits on that to cut your elbow, wouldn't there? And bang your knees?
They wouldn't do it now, but as kids in the 70s, that was... To have an old plane, what a great idea. They should do that with tanks. Playing in a tank would be great.
What noise did you make when you get in the plane? Can you do the machine gun?
Yeah, I'm not very good at a machine gun.
Yeah.
Can you do a machine gun?
Oh, you could do it. What about what's the name bomb coming down?
Oh, yeah.
What do you call them? What do they call those bombs?
Just a bomb.
No, a bomb that made a noise that you knew it was coming.
Yeah, there was I can't remember what they're called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm no expert.
Anyway.
Good times.
Next time you blow your nose, just think back to our friends in World War One.
Think of the diggers and their gas marks.
Yeah, and what they did for us, and how they repurposed. And if you're doing something inappropriate with a tissue, think again.
Yeah, think again. Think of the boys in the trenches.
Yeah.
They would have probably been doing that anyway because they're so bored and away from home. They probably pulled it out of the gas mask. Oh.
I've got another good idea for the tissue. Just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
The Huns are coming. Relax. No, don't relax.
Sorry. Whoop. Oh.
Great.
Hi, I'm Amelia Ball, editor of Halliday Wine Companion magazine, and you can join me for our brand new Halliday podcast as we rummage through cellars and get the experts' knowledge you need to get the most out of your cellar.
Taking a bottle of wine, putting it into a cool, dark place for a long time, crossing all your fingers and toes, and it coming out beautiful.
We recently sold one for $300,000.
Hear the Halliday Wine Companion podcast where you're listening now, or go to winecompanion.com.au.